Vanderbilt Commodores and that nasty Nashville weather, and the Tigers are on their way bowling. Emily, first bowl game in 3 years. She's got it, folks. How about the Chiefs? Ooh, how about the Chiefs? The Giants beat the Chiefs after Casey had a bye and plenty of extra time to prepare for the one-win Giants. Yep, we'll show you how it was. Also, Carl Edwards. Folks can't get enough of Carl. He's retired, but still in the minds of a lot of fans in this area, understandably so. He was recognized, a prestigious honor. We'll have his story and a lot more coming up on Sports Extra with Chris Gervino. She's still across the studio asking, why would people go bowling? Bowl games in football, Emily. It's been a couple of years, but the Tigers are back, and you'll be back, I'm sure, cheering them on as well. She's a big Tiger fan, so are her parents, Jim and Vicky. Well, let's talk Mizzou football. They are rolling, to say the least. What a remarkable turn. Folks, it's a historic season for Missouri football. 5 straight losses, now 5 straight wins. They've had one close game all season. That was a narrow loss at Kentucky. Everything else has been a blowout loss early or a blowout win here lately. The latest, a 45-17 victory over Vanderbilt. As KOMU8's Ben Burke breaks it down, the bowl bid may bring back distant memories for some of these Tigers.
Wells is flat.
Just like they ended their first year, they'll be ending their last.
Now this orange right here, this might remind some of these Tigers seniors of the last time they made the postseason, when they beat Minnesota in the Citrus Bowl. In order to get back to this postseason, it would take a trip to rainy and windy Nashville to take on Vanderbilt.
A late season comeback only matched in conference history by the 1983 Ole Miss Rebels means the seniors will be bowling for the first time since their first year on the field.
Our team has showed tremendous resolve over the course of this season. Obviously it hadn't always been pretty, and tonight wasn't either, but we found a way.
But this bowl bid is a whole lot more than just this year in the making. Since that Citrus Bowl appearance, there's been a team boycott in response to the student protest led by concerned student 1950, a resignation of a legendary head coach, a hiring and firing of a new defensive coordinator. As Marcel Frazier puts it,
it's been a crazy 3 years since I've been here, but it feels good now that it's finally paying off.
The seniors have been sharing stories of their trip to Orlando in 2014.
They talk about it all the time, how great it was and what they did. You hear the stories. I've been hearing the stories since I got here freshman year, so it's a great feeling to actually relive it.
And now, the rest of the team gets to share that experience with them.
We've just worked so hard to give the seniors just one more chance. Next week's not going to be their last week. We worked so hard just so they can have just one more chance of playing ball. Some of them might not have the chance to go on to the next level, some do, but they've led us so great. They've done a terrific job. I'm so proud of them, and this is all for them.
Ben Burke, KOMU8 Sports, Nashville.
Ben, thank you. There are a number of possible bowl games in which the Tigers could end up, including the Music City Bowl right back in Nashville, where they just played Saturday night, or perhaps even another Tennessee location like Memphis for the Liberty Bowl. First, though, Mizzou will close its regular season in Fayetteville Friday afternoon, 1:30, when the Tigers visit the Arkansas Razorbacks, and they will look for a 6th straight win to end the regular season. With the NCAA volleyball tournament approaching, the Mizzou volleyball squad had just 3 matches left in its regular season. Luckily for the Tigers, all 3 at home. Starting this afternoon as Mizzou welcomed Arkansas to the Hearn Center. Alyssa Munlin has been a big player for Missouri all season, and she was at it again today. Munlin in the first set stuffs the Razorbacks at the net. She'd have a team-high 13 blocks. Tigers took the opening set 25-20. They dropped the second, but then here comes Kira Larson to take over in the third with the serve. Arkansas can't handle it. Larson gets the service ace. Then it was Courtney Eckenrode, the Tiger veterans, really showing up here late in the season with a little tricky move there to get that ball over the net. Tigers took the third set 25-18. In the fourth, it's Larson again. The kill. She had a team-high 16. Tigers taking 3-1. They're rolling once again for the Kreklos, 19-10 this season. They will host Alabama Wednesday night, then Florida Saturday afternoon to wrap up regular season play. The Tiger women's basketball team in Springfield today beat the Lady Bears of Missouri State by 10. Sophie Cunningham, the Rockbridge graduate, with 26 points. Sierra Porter, another Rockbridge grad, with a dozen. The Tigers have won 3 in a row after losing their season opener. Next up for them, a trip to California, Berkeley. The California Classic will take place Thanksgiving weekend. Coming off a bye week, the Chiefs had plenty of time to regroup after losing 3 of their last 4. They also had the nice position, one would think, of taking on the lowly New York Giants with their 1-8 record. But boy, would this be a day to forget for the Chiefs. No score first quarter. The trick play for the Giants, but the trick's on them. Daniel Sorensen, the interception. KC prevents the Giants from scoring there. Second quarter, though, Giants a little better luck here. Orleans Darkwa, the running back, 1-yard touchdown. Giants missed the extra point, but had a 6-0 lead. Fourth quarter, KC down 6-3. Harrison Butker boots his second field goal of the day to tie it at 6. He would be called upon a little bit later, really later, actually, just 2 seconds left in regulation, and he kicks it in from 22 yards. That tied the game at 9, sent it to overtime, but the Giants got the winning kick in OT, a 23-yard field goal. Can you believe this? The Giants beat the Chiefs 12-9. KC has dropped 4 of 5, but still leads the AFC West by 2 games. The Raiders also lost today. The 2017 NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series concluded with a Ford EcoBoost 400 this afternoon. 4 racers had a chance at NASCAR's top prize at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Today's Final 4, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Martin Truex Jr. End of an era, though. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and likely the last race as well for 2003 Cup champ Matt Kenseth. The two came in together as rookies in 2000. Another NASCAR regular in the last race is a full-time driver, Danica Patrick's car runs into the wall late in stage 2. Then the front side of her car is on fire. Fortunately, she walked away unhurt. Final lap. Truex leads all the chasers and the entire pack, for that matter. The only playoff contender without a cup finally brings home NASCAR's big prize. Busch and Harvick finished in the top 5. Keselowski finished 7th. Martin Truex Jr., your Cup champion for the year, and he was a dominant racer. As the NASCAR season ended, this has still been a big weekend for someone no longer racing. Columbia's own Carl Edwards retired from racing back in January, but as KOMU 8's Evan Locknett lets us know, Edwards is still earning recognition.
This is typically what people picture when they think of Carl Edwards. But Saturday night, Edwards was honored for something not earned on the racetrack.
It's humbling, to say the least. I didn't expect this.
Edwards, along with 11 others, ranging from an NCAA baseball coach to Special Olympians to a young boxer, received a 2017 Musial Award. This award show highlights extraordinary sportsmanship.
You know, for them to use me is kind of interesting because I have not always been the best sport. It took me a long time to figure out really what sports was about.
But exactly a year ago this weekend, Edwards showed a gesture that highlights who he truly is. Racing for a championship in the final race of the NASCAR season, Edwards was leading on his way to a championship.
Carl Edwards into the wall. He got tagged by the 22. Big hits by the 19.
That crash not only ended Edwards' race, but also his championship aspirations. Instead of losing his cool, Edwards went to Joey Logano's pit box, a fellow championship competitor and the driver who caused the contact leading to his wreck, and wished Logano's team luck.
No matter how tough the race is or how bad things go, that's what really makes the wins special. But it's cool, as my career got towards the last couple of years, I really truly just enjoyed being a part of those events, and I learned not to focus as much on the result, even though it's the greatest thing in the world to win, but it's just fun to compete.
Who helped Edwards get to that point?
It's funny, I'm extremely stubborn, and so I'm sure a bunch of people told me all about sportsmanship, but I had to figure it out on my own. For me personally, there's not been one person, but as I look back, I kind of just realized that, really why we're doing this. It's about the sport.
Evan Locknett, KOMU 8 Sports, St. Louis.
Evan, thank you very much. So good to see and hear from Carl Edwards. The Musial Awards, now nationally televised program, will be shown across the country in December. And though he's retired, Edwards says he does sometimes think about a comeback. We'll come back in a moment, but first let's look at our Sports Extra Sports Trivia question as we head to our break. And earlier we showed you highlights from Missouri's victory at Vanderbilt Saturday night. In that game, Drew Lock threw 3 more touchdown passes, making him 3 shy from the new single-season SEC record. With that, we ask who currently holds the SEC record for most touchdown passes in a single season. Not necessarily a household name, folks. We'll see if you can get this one. You've got a few minutes. The answer later in our show.
From the Ford Sports Desk, Sports Extra with Chris Gervino is brought to you by Columbia Appliance, Columbia's volume Whirlpool dealer. U.S. Cellular, hello better. And Menards, save big money on all your home improvement needs.